This is a severe weather alert.
Good afternoon, Siouxland. This is David Stevens. I want to give everyone an update on the ice storm moving into Sioux City. Starting tomorrow at noon, we go under an ice storm warning. That includes Sioux City and a good part of Siouxland. Right now, looking at the radar, the main storm system is way over here, just northwest of Phoenix here, and it will continue to move northeastward into our region. And the biggest impacts start tomorrow afternoon. Well, tomorrow at noon, the ice storm warning goes into effect, and the ice storm warning continues through a good portion of Tuesday. So let's go ahead and break this down by looking at something I normally don't show anyone. Okay, this is, I know, very ugly, but this is a breakdown of the watches and warnings in effect here. And this is our warning bug that we use on the bottom of the screen during active weather. And I want to go ahead and start with the ice storm warning. I realize that there's no county labels on this map, so I'll go ahead and read them off one by one. And we'll start with Nebraska, and we'll work our way into Iowa. So, the ice storm warning, which is the purple color, you're looking at Madison, Stanton, Cumming, Rain, Thurston, Dakota, and Dixon counties. In South Dakota, Union County. Moving over to Iowa, you have Plymouth, Sioux, Osceola, Dickinson, Clay, O'Brien, Cherokee, Buena Vista, Ida, Woodbury, and Mona. Did I mention Plymouth? I hope I did, but Plymouth is included. So that is Lamar's. Now that's the ice storm warning. Looking at the winter storm warning, we'll start with South Dakota. So we have Yankton and Clay counties in South Dakota. In Iowa, you have Lyon County. That's your pink county. That is your winter storm warning. The winter storm watch starting in Nebraska includes Knox, Cedar, Pierce, and Antelope counties. And then moving into Iowa, it includes Emmett, Palo Alto, and Pocahontas counties. Now, we only have a couple counties under a winter weather advisory. That is for Harrison and Shelby counties. And then you notice the gray counties in Iowa, those counties are not under any type of advisory at this moment. So the impacts will be less severe as you go southeast of Sioux City. So really, the strongest ice storm, the heaviest part of the ice storm will be right over Sioux City. So definitely don't want to travel. You want to stay off the roads. Really, tomorrow at noon all the way through probably Wednesday morning, to be honest, before all the side streets can be treated. Well, the main concern is the freezing rain ice accumulation. Right now it looks like about a quarter of an inch to about half an inch of ice, and some of the models are showing a little heavier amounts, but we're going to stick with half of an inch of ice at most. And again, there could be some isolated spots with a little bit more ice. So I'll go ahead and show you some maps here. First map I want to show you is, this is the 511ia.org website. This is a good map to use to show you the road conditions. The green is good. You got good normal driving condition. The blue over portions of northeast Iowa is partially covered with slush still. And what's good about this map is you can zoom in and then you can see detailed segments of the roads. And again, everything looks like good driving conditions, nothing to worry about yet. And this will all change tomorrow. So what is happening? Well, like I showed at the first map, we do have a storm system right now that's located in the Four Corners region. and it's going to move into our region right through here. And we have a pretty strong low pressure system right through here that's located down in that region. Okay, and it'll track to the southeast of Sioux City. That's a perfect track to get some good winter storm weather here for Sioux City. Now, unfortunately, the atmosphere will be a little too warm. When you look at the column, you stand and you look. Say you go outside, you stand and you look straight up into the atmosphere. Call that column of air. And to get all snow, you want the temperatures to be below freezing in all layers of the atmosphere. So, this is normally something I don't show because it's pretty complex. But this is called sounding data. This shows us all kinds of interesting things. Temperature, dew point, your mixing, all your adiabates, your severe weather perimeters, which are located on the right side of this image. It shows you your cape, all your instability, and your hodograph, which is great for helicity. But anyway, I kind of stick with the topic here. So, you look at the weather balloon. Normally we use a SKU-T with the weather balloon and get data. So this is basically what the weather balloon would look like. Okay, so looking at the red line, it shows 31 degrees, which is right a degree below freezing. And then you have the 0 degree line. You follow that up, and it looks like the column of air is above freezing for a good portion of the event. Now this is for overnight or pretty much Tuesday morning here. You have the column of air, it's above freezing, so the ice crystals are going to melt, it's going to stay all rain. And then it'll freeze at the surface because we'll be below freezing. So that's kind of like a 3D look at the atmosphere and show you why it's going to be mostly freezing. Now, if you want all snow, you want the red line to be on the other side of the freezing line, to be below 0 Celsius or below 32 Fahrenheit. Now, another feature of this sounding data is the green line. The green line is your dew point. Notice how they're touching? Well, that means it's completely saturated. So, basically 100% chance of precipitation at that point, as long as you have everything together, the ingredients, and looks like, it's 100% at this point, folks. So, that's one reason why we have the ice storm warning. You got all this precipitation moving into the region, and your column of air is above freezing. So I'll go ahead and get out of that map and show you in detail what's happening as you have the storm system moving in, and you're going to have the low track to the south east of Siouxland, and this one shows it right over Siouxland. And notice how it spins slowly. So this is Tuesday evening when it's snow. But notice how slow it's moving at that point. So it's going to be pretty good long event here with a lot of freezing rain potential and some snow on the backside. Not really excited about the amount of snow. I think what I'll do is I go to our page, this is Next Lab, and show you. Here's a 10-to-1 ratio of snow, meaning 10 inches to 1 inch of precipitation and water. And again, it only shows about an inch. And you have some other methods you can look at. Here shows you about the same. But the main thing I want to show you is our freezing rain. Now looking at this data, it shows about... Now this one is really high. Now this shows you about 0.93 of an inch of freezing rain accumulation. Now, I really don't think it'll be that high, all the way up to an inch. That's a ton of ice, folks. But I think reasonably half of an inch at the high point with some isolated heavier amounts of ice definitely are possible tomorrow. One thing I want to show you is where to go to get good information and that is your National Weather Service. Remember the website weather.gov. This will give you some really good information. And what I recommend is the main map on the main site is all your advisories, watches, and warnings. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Sioux City. And it brings up a detailed map from the National Weather Service in Sioux Falls. And on this page, I recommend you look down at the weather story, which is a briefing and summary of any winter storms, severe weather outbreaks moving into your area. Now, this was issued at 5:49, so at that point we were looking at lesser amounts of ice, but now it's looking like about a half of an inch of ice at most for Sioux City right now. But on this website, weather.gov, on the top left part of this website, you can type in your zip code, and this is really beneficial. I'll show you the hazardous weather conditions. Click on it. This will load up the warnings. You want to look at when it was issued. So this was a couple hours ago. And you want to ignore all this. This is for our warning maps you see on the screen right now and for weather radio. But it does show you the counties typed out for you too. So you can look and see if it includes your county. And then it'll tell you ice storm warning in effect, significant icing possible, snow accumulations of 1 to 6 inches. I think we'll be closer to maybe 1 to 3 inches because we're going to see more ice. Accumulations 1/4 to a ½ inch of ice, definitely possible, likely at this point, with wind gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. So, down power lines, definitely likely. Tree damage looks likely at this point, and travel will be nearly impossible. And like I said, if you do travel, check the Iowa 111, Iowa 511 travel information website. And of course, you can check your local media stations. All of them in Siouxland do an excellent job of communicating and providing all that information on their website as well. And of course, your National Weather Service. But if you click back from that screen, you get your current conditions, and it shows nicely the forecast. And it'll show you the ice storm warning. Starts at noon Monday through pretty much all of Tuesday. Show you temperatures. It'll be right around freezing Monday night. Then temperatures drop, and you can read the text on that. But if you go down to the hourly weather forecast here, it'll show you a really nice chart. And this shows for tomorrow, it'll get to 31 degrees. But then on Tuesday, it drops down. This is the main event, Monday night. This will show you the ice accumulation, snowfall accumulation, and then sleet. One thing that's good about the National Weather Service is all these. We look at a ton of models, and most of your apps, not to diss the Weather Channel, but the local and the 8s, most of that is all computer generated using meteorological maps, numerical modeling. But this is your National Weather Service forecasters. Most of these guys have masters, PhDs. They know what they're doing. Most of them are mastered, and they're all AMS certified. And so they go through and they do the forecast. This is what's in most of your newspapers and radio stations. But anyway, I yacked for about 15 minutes there, so I go ahead and wrap it up. And then go back to the radar. Right now, mainly overcast conditions. You may get some sprinkles. No travel problems today. Tomorrow through mainly Wednesday morning will be a different story. Travel will be nearly impossible. I can't imagine them having school at this point on Tuesday, possibly into Wednesday, depending on how much ice is still left on the road. So it's best to stock up on things that you definitely need and don't risk traveling during the ice storm. I will be back with updates. I hope everyone has a wonderful day.